Hey, what's up? So this video is about what is the best diet. And it is a subject that I've been hot on the trail of because it's super important to be eating a diet that is working for you, that you're able to perform all of the functions that you would like to, that you find yourself involved in, and to be able to thrive, to have the energy to do the things that you need to do and whatnot, and to be healthy and not be getting sick, and on and on and on. So the thing is, I have tried many different dietary regimes. I'm not going to list them all, but I've ventured down many paths. Like some of them certainly to do with like the blood type diet and like Dr. Sebi stuff, and certainly veganism and raw veganism and fruitarianism and all these different things, right? So, and I do eat basically a whole fresh, I have aimed for whole, fresh, raw, ripe, organic fruits and vegetables, in season, local, dirt grown, and certainly with the fruits, like right now, I get these things, these tunas. They're prickly pear cactus fruit. They're from Mexico, but they're so good. I mean, I love fruit, so I do go out of my way to get the exotic fruits as well. Variety and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I have certainly been paying a lot more attention to my macros, meaning like the big components of diet, being carbohydrates, protein, and fats. And so that has been a more recent thing, like, really thinking, okay, I'll try it, try whatever to see what works. And anyways, so the thing is that it's so easy to go on YouTube and learn about, and there's people touting all different diets, saying, oh, well, this, do this or don't do that, and this is what you need to know, all this kind of stuff. And it's like, okie dokes. And I've tried some of it, and the thing is, so I've been on a raw food kick for a little while, and it has worked for me a certain percentage. We'll say, I don't know, it works for me 60%, 70%. I feel great on raw food. My body heals on raw food. If I ever need to be in healing mode, rapid healing mode, it is 100% raw, vegan, of course, but like 100% raw, for a period of time. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months, generally not months. That's something if you're really sick, and I am not. But it happens, right? I mean, so for me, too much cooked food is not a good thing. But also, in learning about yoga and in learning about that Ayurveda is the sister science of yoga that developed alongside yoga. So I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about yoga, but I essentially do live and breathe yoga. I've done so much research into it, and I am convinced that this is, for what it's worth, our birthright. This is a piece of our heritage, our natural heritage, something that was developed here on this planet a long time ago, and it works very well for a lot of people for a variety of reasons. And so I have been captivated by it and its antiquity, which in my understanding is very, very old, upwards of 50,000 years, not like the speculation which comes from certain texts. Anyways, and so Ayurveda, and then when I was doing my yoga teacher training in New York, and there was this woman who was teaching about this component, the diet component, because it is huge. If you are a yoga instructor, you kind of have to have your diet dialed in. For myself, it's like I need to be a prime example, a pillar of health. I need to be radiating positivity and pure health because of the, people are looking to you as an example of yoga. So it is like, I take it very seriously for what it's worth, right? And anyway, and she was describing the different doshas. And I will say that back in the day, I thought that it was a bunch of horse stuff, horse crap. Anyways, moving forward, when she was describing the Vata dosha, so there's 3, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And anyway, so because I had done a test on my own, I thought that I was maybe this tri-dosha, which is rare. But anyways, then it's really hard to find. It was difficult for me to find literature on how to embrace that or what to do about it. Anyways, moving forward, it was like, okay, when she was describing the Vata, I was like, I put my hand up, I was like, it sounds like you're describing me, because of like the dry skin. Like I have very thin skin, like at work, I don't touch anything without gloves. I'm a hypersensitive person, hyper everything. I can be a hyper a lot of things. And so like the dry skin, like some guys that were doing yoga they're all sweaty and they're like, oh, they're always slipping. I was like, slipping, I'm getting stuck, and it, as it describes the digestion and just the temperament, your kind of your disposition there, or for the Vata, I guess, is the air element. And I am that. I'm very like, I don't know how to describe that, right? But I certainly go where the wind blows me. And anyways, so hearing about that, and then, so little bits of information, and then moving forward, eating lots of fruit, but it's not working for me 100%. I mean, there's something about it, and that it's like, I love fruit and I love eating a lot of fruit. It works for me most of the time, but and when I was eating 100% fruit, I will say that my digestion slowed down. So for me, it's like 100% fruit or something else. I will say that 100% fruit, 100%, and 100% raw was working for me, but it's like 100%. There isn't any room for anything else, because I remember I went to this festival, this wellness festival, and the second I started eating cooked food again, my digestion changed, and I started having more frequent bowel movements. And but yeah, it takes a lot to get to a place where it's like 100% raw. And certainly living in Canada in the winter time and this and that, I mean, like, there's different factors that you need to take into account. Certainly to do with heading into fall and winter, there isn't such an abundance of fresh fruit available all the time. And I mean, and so anyways, along the lines of this Vata thing, in doing my little bit of research, it's like, okay, something that is, it's like, what is good? So I think that the idea is something along the lines of, you're looking for a Vata pacifying, because if I'm already very elevated, you don't want things that are going to, you want things that are going to help balance you out, going to help ground you, and aren't going to tip you over the edge or whatever. So coffee is not the best for a person like me, and I know this on my own experience, so I agree with that. And they say really nourishing food, so like beans and stuff like that, beans and lentils. I love beans and lentils, and it's like, it's one of the hard things about eating 100% raw, is it's like, I like eating those things. I mean, I don't, yeah. So as long as you prepare them properly, soak them properly, cook them properly, rinse them properly, and cook them with spices so that they're easier to digest. And that's another Vata thing, just because of our digestion, it really helps. And then also oily. I love fat. I, as a child, could eat a spoonful of butter. As an adult, I could eat a spoonful of vegan butter. I could put it on thick on like some, gluten-free amaranth toast. Not that I have to eat gluten-free, I just enjoy it. I like those. Yeah, I like the amaranth bread and the buckwheat and stuff. Because anyways, so and it confirms my own experience that I personally enjoy and gravitate towards high fat. I love fat, and ever since learning that, I've really embraced the fats, the oils, the healthy oils, the organic olive oil and coconut oil and flaxseed oil, and not feel bad about it in any way. And it's just like, I always knew this stuff was good, and eating lots of avocados and coconut yogurt and things, fatty stuff. And also, so on a I don't know if it's raw vegan or a vegan diet or whatever, but certainly flax seeds and chia seeds, there are certain sources that we can and I was making like crackers with those things in it, so super good for me. So for me, it's like raw vegan some of the time, 100% some of the time, but then some of the time not. Sometimes my body would tell me, it's like, you need something else, something heavier, something grounding. Maybe it's not just all about nutrition, it's to do with energy, right? Because we're more than this body, right? We are more than that anyways. And so learning all of these things, and I've embraced it. So I still eat mostly raw food and avoid things that are like caffeine, which are going to unbalance my energy. Avoid too much, say, like dried fruit or chips or things like that are going to dry my skin out, because I already have dryness. I guess that's like that air quality, right? And not too much fruit. That's what I'm not 100% certain on, because I have thrived on 100% fruit. It's just that eating that way, it's quite the commitment, and I will absolutely try it again for extended periods of time, but also, and then try back with some cooked meals on some days. Like for myself, it's like don't eat cooked food every day. Or certainly if you're going to eat cooked food every day, only one meal with cooked food in it per day. So there's absolutely a balance. There has to be regulation with that stuff, because it's anyways, without trying to understand the whole thing and talking about acrylamide and talking about what is it, the thing that happens when leukocytosis from eating cooked foods, and on and on and on. I mean, that's just like up here. There's so much up here, right? And anyways, and so what else? But here's the thing. Here's where it's easy to like do a loop, if you know what I mean, where it's like, okay. And I also noticed that my skin quality is better since I've been eating lots of fats. I feel like I was missing out on that, and and now I just embrace it and don't worry too much about oxidization in oils and oxidized nuts and seeds. It's like, I will do my best to cover as many bases as possible, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't eat this or I can't eat that because of this and because of that. It's just like, right? I'm gonna do my best. I will buy in nuts when they're in their shells when I can, but I'm not gonna not eat Brazil nuts because I can't get them in a shell. I'm just not about that. Extremes, right? Sort of. I do enjoy some extremes. Anyways. But the thing is like, you go on YouTube, if you're looking into diet and stuff like that, and there are people touting all different things. Like there are these dudes, and they're like, oh yeah, I eat only watermelon. There's a few of them, or people that are thriving on 100% raw diet. I have experienced that myself. I don't know if it's necessary, because that's the thing, it's like, okay, so you can, But does that mean you should? I mean, like, I could go the rest of my life and never have a beer. And I wonder what that would accomplish at the end of the day. Would that make my life better? Would I be living more? Am I gonna live longer? Does that kind of a restraint really accomplish something? My spidey sense tells me no. I mean, because like the people in my family who live fairly healthy lives, but still, like my grandpa, he still used a microwave and stuff like that, and he ate things that I don't eat and whatnot, but he lived to be a ripe old 95 years old. Everybody in my family lives into their mid 90s and upper 90s and whatnot. So it's like, I don't think that you need to be super anal about this stuff. I mean, it's yeah, you do your best. You drink clean water, and live in a stress-free, toxic-free environment as much as possible. You do cleansing, and you eat all this stuff. It's like, whatever, good enough, right? I mean, calm down. Anyways, so yeah, there's these guys, it's like, okay, watermelon. So I tried it. It's watermelon season here. It doesn't work for me. I hear them saying that works for them, but it's like, okay, the thing that comes to mind is, what is your dosha? Maybe, and some of these guys are African American descent, and so it's like, I don't know. I mean, I am not that. I am Dutch, Indonesian, and Egyptian and English. I mean, I am not. So there is a difference in digestive, I don't want to say it, capability, or however you want to look at it, right? But I mean, there is a difference between people, and certainly to do with this whole dosha thing with Ayurveda. And all I'm saying is that I do not, when I eat only fruit for a period of time, and I've been doing like 3 hours of yoga every day because it's just a part of becoming a yoga teacher, is I had to like teach 2 classes per day, plus my own personal practice, so that I don't, so that I'm making progress in the ways that I need to. And so the thing was that when I eat just fruit, I all of a sudden get tired. No, it's not even that. It's that I'm hungry. My body is really hungry for something, and it's protein. So these guys are like, oh yeah, all we do is eat, they say all that we do is eat, what's it called? Watermelon. It's like, that good for you. That does not work for me. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, cause that's what they say is that, sorry, is this my boss? I'm supposed to go to work here pretty quick, but I'm going to finish making this video. I don't know what time it is. But it's Saturday, and it's only a 1 hour thing. We're just mucking out the job. Anyways, and they say, oh, well, your body doesn't need protein because your body makes proteins. You just need amino acids. You just need to eat enough fruit. And it's like, you know what? I can't eat that much fruit. My body, for my constitution, for who I am, I cannot eat enough fruit to get the amount of protein that my body is crying for. So it's like, the things that other people say on YouTube, you got to take it with a grain of salt. And at the end of the day, I'm going to go get my Ayurvedic constitution done by an Ayurvedic practitioner, kind of doctor or whatever, because they test a lot of things. It's like your tongue, and they look at this and that, and there's a questionnaire, and they check your pulse. It's, for myself, it's worth it. I'm going to spend the money, whether it's like, I think it's like $125 or whatever, to get somebody to just help you out, to say, okay, this is what we understand based on everything that we observe of you and from what you've told us. And so, yeah, like eating just watermelon, for me, does not work. And for me, that's liberating. It's like, okay, I tried that. It was interesting, but at the end of the day, no, I need more density in my food in my sustenance to help ground me out. I require that, and I enjoy it too, because I really do like eating beans and stuff like that, and yeah, heavier things anyways. And so what else, what is it on to do with the diet? Yeah, like a raw vegan diet too. It works for a lot of people, and it works for me on a certain level, maybe at certain times of the year, for a certain period of time, depending on what I find myself involved in. But it's like with the exercise that I do, and on and on and on. And I've found that, yeah, it is important to eat certain things. And so, oops, no, don't do that. Trying to see what time it is here. Oh no, I know what I can do. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Okay, I have a minute. So the thing was, and you know, there's other diets there too. I mean, there are people that I see who are thriving on a carnivore diet, and I've looked into it, right? Because it's like, it's not like I'm considering eating that, but seeing people thriving, and they're doing really well. So it's essentially a ketogenic diet. I mean, and so, but once again, it's like, where are they at in their health? You know, do they have a lot of body fat? Are they able to, you know, because they're trying to lose weight, or where are they at? What are their goals? You know, what is their, you know, dosha, you know, for what it's worth. I mean, and it's a tricky one, right? Because like for myself, when I see that, it's like, okay, I agree that it's working for some people. That's what they're saying, at least online. It's like, but the thing that comes up for me is that it's like, you know, there has to be, in order for you to do that, it's like, okay, that's working for you, right? But like, what about the animals? It's not working for them. You know, it's not working for the planet. I mean, so really, you're just only thinking about yourself. You know, there has to be an epic disconnect between head and heart. You can't in any way be in contact with your heart space and be eating a diet where you basically are not even considering the impact that what you're doing is having. And it's like, yeah, it might be working for you, but you know, stealing works for thieves, you know. I mean, yeah, so that's another one, right? I mean, yeah, you know, not knocking anybody who's doing it, right? But that is the way that I've come to look at it. And it's like, you know, I've thought in my, you know, sometimes you're in a place in life where it's like, okay, I don't know what I got to do to embrace my health, but I need to get healthier. And you know, you do some research and you find other people who are doing that, and you know, yeah, and anyway, so like for myself and my own journey, you know, I have thought for like a moment, it's like, I wonder if I could eat a steak. I have a friend who I don't want to say too much, but there's somebody that I know that I have appreciated, and I spoke to this person recently about what their diet is, because I was curious, and they told me that they started eating meat, and you know, I it's no judgment, right? But I don't know how I sit with that. I don't need to sit with that, right? I don't need to form opinions about it. It's none of my business. I got my own stuff that I'm dealing with, right? I don't need to comment on other people's lives. But anyways, as a result of that, you know, I've thought, it's like, oh, I wonder what if I ate a steak, if I could do it. I don't think that I could. I mean, I think that I could initially if it was there. Maybe if I was drunk, you know, and I could, but I don't know what would happen afterwards, you know, like it's not like I would explode. I don't know if I would cry, you know, I don't know if I would throw up. I don't know, right? But that's me. I mean, yeah. So that's it, you know, at the end of the day, with all these diets and stuff like that, I would, for myself, what is ringing true is certainly raw veganism, but also looking at my dosha and not being super strict about stuff like, I'm going to make dal for dinner tonight, a lemon dal. And I love making hummus, and I now make my own crackers, so I have as much raw food in there as possible. And but also enjoy some cooked food. So that is it. I think I have said everything that I have to say about what diet, right? So